continue to ensure that it plays that role.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Wicker. Senator Shaheen, please.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Chalet, Ms. Abercrombie. Excuse me. Congratulations on your nomination. Thank you to both of you and your families for your willingness to continue to serve this country. Mr. Chalet, I really have appreciated your engagement in the Western Balkans during your time at the Department of State. It's not lost on me that another conflict in Europe at this time would be particularly problematic. And I know that you were very important in helping to bring Kosovo and Serbia to the table to try and address the conflict between those two countries. And part of ensuring that peace in the region is NATO's K4 Force. And I wonder if you could talk about how you see working with General Cavoli and U.S. European Command to ensure that K4 both has the resources that it needs and looks at whether there needs to be an expanded mission given the recent violence in the northern part of Kosovo.
Senator Shaheen, thank you again for the question. Thank you for all of your leadership in this effort, because the engagement of the Congress in the Western Balkans has been absolutely critical to our overall efforts. Unfortunately, the situation across the Western Balkans remains very unstable. As you know, we both had the opportunity to see the Bosnian foreign minister a few days ago, who said to me, we need to be worried about a Russian bear being in the belly of Europe. And so instability in the Western Balkans would not stay in the Western Balkans. And so that's why it's important for all of us to work to see that we can bring lasting peace to that region. The situation in Kosovo and Serbia has been troubling for some time, and there was another flare-up of violence over the weekend. I spoke just a few days ago with the president of Serbia, as well as the prime minister of Kosovo, to try to tamp down some of those tensions. But the important role that the Defense Department plays in supporting KFOR, the NATO mission in Kosovo, which is helping to keep the peace in northern Kosovo, is absolutely essential. So if confirmed, I would work with General Cavoli and the entire EUCOM family, as well as our NATO partners, to ensure that we're doing what we need to have enough capability so that KFOR can help keep the peace in this critical part of the world.
Well, thank you. And as we think about the need for other peacekeeping forces in the Balkans, obviously the EUFOR mission is very important in Bosnia-Herzegovina, and they are coming up on another reauthorization that needs to happen at the UN at the end of October. Can you talk about the prospects for that reauthorization?
Sure. Thank you, Senator Shaheen. I had an opportunity to speak with the Bosnian foreign minister about this the other day. I think the prospects are looking better, although we are not there yet. We still have some time before that authorization will happen. Last year, it was a close-run thing, and so I can tell you that from the State Department perspective right now, we are working hard to ensure that that EUFOR mandate gets expanded or gets renewed in Bosnia. Thinking about, if confirmed, a Defense Department angle, it's to ensure that we are doing whatever we can from a DoD perspective to ensure that we're trying to keep the peace in Bosnia.
Well, and as the foreign minister pointed out, if EUFOR fails, then NATO would be a last resort, which I assume would not be something that some of the elements in Bosnia-Herzegovina would be interested in seeing.
Senator, that's absolutely right.
Thank you. Ms. Abercrombie, you've talked about the challenge of balancing the commercial technology services that are available and the department's need to use those. One of those efforts that got a lot of attention was Starlink's role in the Ukraine war. So how can we ensure that if there are commercial contracts with the department, that the decisions made about how those services are used are based on policy that the department and this country believe are in the best interests of the department, not in the best interests of a commercial entity?
Senator Shaheen, if confirmed, my first priority is looking after the American warfighter. And absolutely, I think going into the contracting process, baking that in from the get-go is absolutely necessary. And this is an evolving environment where we are working more closely with commercial providers, and that's a discussion we need to have upfront and to be mindful of the requirements we have going into the conversation with industry.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Shaheen. Senator Fisher, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ms. Abercrombie and Mr. Cholet, and